So you said you had dreams. One of you had dreams of some nightmare, ghost came. Another person dream, what we call as some relative came. And sometimes we get a dreams of premonition, what happened in the future. So we have to understand that all of us have a conscious mind, a subconscious mind, unconscious mind. The conscious mind, what we have, is required for us to interact with the world in the waking state. And in the world, we see a lot of people, so many people. Each of them appear to be conscious like us. So in the world, there's a collective consciousness of various living beings. The world, collective consciousness of individual beings, we are interacting. And we gain some experience, impressions, that gets recorded in the individual subconscious. Okay. So individual subconscious, what gets recorded as likes and dislikes, called vasana. And the subconscious vasanas come to the forefront and you start interacting and it becomes habit pattern, it becomes samskara. Vasanas and samskaras get recorded in the subconscious mind. The language of the subconscious mind is images, pictures. That's why in dream, we get some images, pictures. The image of the ghost is subconscious mind is projecting the fears, whatever fears are there, in the form of ghost. Some premonition or events happening of to come also can come in subconscious. Our subconscious mind touches a future event and then communicates to conscious mind in terms of images. The language of subconscious mind is images. Okay. The language of conscious mind is words. It's left brain oriented, ego. Right brain is image oriented. So when we do prayers, verbalization, left brain we are using. When you do bhajans, chanting, right brain we are using. So subconscious mind is connected more to the right brain in that sense. We have to understand the structure of whole universe. What we call as physical universe is nothing but an appearance in the mind, which is your brain. Whereas the world is nothing but in your mind, which is brain. No brain, no world. So the world is the image in the brain. The objects of the world are nothing but thoughts in the brain. And brain is conscious. The consciousness illuminates the brain, activates the brain. So the entire world is appearing in the mind, and mind is appearing in consciousness. When I say mind and brain, I'm using interchangeably. The world is an image in the brain, and your self-image also is the brain. And brain has thoughts called thoughts. These thoughts are nothing but objects of the world. So where is the physical world? Where is the psychological world? So that distinction is made by the brain. There's no physically, there's nothing called physical world or psychological world. The brain draws a line and says, this is physical, this is psychological. It's an interpretation by the brain. We think there's something out there. What is out there is nothing but in here, in the mind. And the mind which interprets this out there, in there. In your dream, you saw a forest. Forest appeared to be out there. And you seem to be walking. You and the forest, subject and object, both appeared in the mind, nervous system. So that way, there is a hard distinction of what is outside and inside is very difficult to make out. Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, once he was going in a boat, he suddenly started crying. Somebody is hitting me. And there are marks on his body. Actually, when they reached the shore, two people are fighting, and one person was hitting other person. The marks on that body of the person appeared on Ramakrishna Paramahamsa's body. So, where it happened, the action is happening in consciousness. Ramakrishna Paramahamsa's mind, barrier of inner and outer reality has disappeared momentarily. Understand? What is inner and outer is a line which is arbitrarily put by the brain. In reality, brain doesn't know what is inner and outer. Brain only receives the signals through our eyes and ears. Our sense organs. Sense organs are converting energy into electrical form. So basically, we are dealing with energy all the time and trying to interpret as images. Where is outer? Where is inner? We don't know. So that's why these mental powers like telepathy and all work, because the concept of outer and inner is not really a reality. It's only a conceptual. Some people have supernatural ability. So their mental boundaries, they have shifted. That's all. So the world is in the mind. The conscious mind is responsible for our conscious interactions with the collective consciousness. And when we interact, we give reality to, we give cash. So we give a reality to certain things for interaction purpose. Okay, we give the reality. We means our subconscious mind gives the reality to outer things. There's no reality out there. For our transaction purpose, we agree upon a collective reality. So one example of collective reality is this one. Cash. It's a piece of paper. But we give so much of respect to the cash. And we believe money is very important for our life. It is a part of a collective belief. So after maybe 1,000 years, somebody sees this cash over here. He'll use it for burning something. So our belief systems try to give a reality in the outer world. Right? A piece of paper can become cash. Cash can become very valuable. And for this piece of paper, you can struggle whole of your life. Believing that this is so very important. Right? So we give reality, collective reality using our belief systems. Our religion is a collective reality. That's why religious people are called believers. Believe in some God, believe in some deity. Belief is not real, but belief gives a reality. There's nothing. What is reality out there? We don't know. Belief is a structure which gives a reality to energy flow. That's like clouds are moving. You can say, oh, tiger is there. An elephant is there. Energy pattern, we are giving some, and we know it's a cloud. But same way, everything in universe is an energy pattern. For the energy pattern, we give some name and form and call it a reality and start dealing with the reality as if it's real. It's only belief system which is projected on physical energy. And this reality structure is created in the mind. Right? So our mind has different layers: conscious mind, subconscious mind, unconscious mind. Conscious mind is used for interaction in the conscious state, which is collective belief. And when we interact, we gather some impressions, likes and dislikes. So that gets recorded in subconscious mind. And subconscious mind, when it gets recorded, is called vasana, impressions. And impressions, subconscious mind has a language of subconscious mind is nothing but images. It will give you in terms of dreams. It will give you in terms of impressions. Okay. That subconscious mind is driving our life, because we are 95% subconscious and 25% conscious. Our entire life is driven by our impressions and vasanas. Impressions, samskara, vasanas and samskaras, programs. Samskara is actually habit pattern. A vasana comes out repeatedly, you start acting on that, it becomes samskara, habit pattern. Samskara, another name for samskara is called, in modern language, is called program. We live our programmed life. For example, when you drive car, after some time driving goes into subconscious. Subconscious becomes autopilot. So samskaras will drive. Then you don't have to think. Consciously, you don't have to worry. Consciously, you'll be worrying about something else, but subconsciously, driving happens. So subconscious patterns are recorded. Then something goes to deep unconscious. Okay. Subconscious are like memories, driving memory. Deep unconscious is what is deeply there. For example, subconscious memories, you can always say, oh, is it right or wrong? Still, I can take control, conscious. Whereas deep unconscious is deeply embedded programs. For example, you started walking in the childhood. You fall, get up, fall, get up. Now, as you grow up, it has got to deep unconscious. You will never have a question about walking. When you get up, you walk. It's already a deep-rooted program. So conscious, subconscious, unconscious, deep-rooted programs. In our unconscious, subconscious is all memories and impressions which we can recall some way. In terms of memory, impressions, we can. For example, some childhood friend, some memory, some beach, all those things can come out as impression. There are some things which comes in us which are not subconscious, but much deeper than subconscious, which is not recollectible, but some impressions can come out. They are called past life impressions. Some deep-rooted impressions which are not memories which are easily recollected, but they come out as impressions. The impressions will affect your life, but they are buried deep in your consciousness. They are called unconscious, individual unconscious. So, in the conscious world, we are interact with the collective consciousness, collection of beings. We create a collective reality in terms of currency, in terms of temple, in terms of religion. Subconscious is we gather individual impressions. Unconscious, we collect it. In a sense, we can say the physical body and conscious world, what we are saying, is manifest from the unconscious. So that we can say, in a sense, prarabdha karma. Sanchita, subconscious impressions, we can say, in a say, it can call as agami. We are keeping a record now. And that goes to deep-rooted of subconscious, unconscious, it comes with, is called sanchita karma from many lifetimes. Right? So now, just like collective consciousness is there, collective unconscious is there. Sanchita karma for all living beings. The collective unconscious, where all impressions of subconscious and unconscious impressions of all living beings are stored, right, is what we call is Sheshanaga, the serpent on Vishnu is sleeping. It is represented as serpent because serpent wakes up, right? Like that, our deep-rooted subconscious unconscious impressions wake up. It will become Sanchita karma, all Sanchita karma collectively. So it becomes our what you call prarabdha karma or agami karma. It will wake up. So the Sheshanaga or divine serpent is a store. That's why it's called Shesha. Shesha means remaining impressions of the collective consciousness of the world. So the collective consciousness is used for projecting the world. So then the collective consciousness, just like we have what we call as individual consciousness, we have universal consciousness. We call it Ishvara or God. So universal consciousness has universal subconscious, just like I have individual subconscious, universe has universal subconscious. And universal unconscious. Universal unconscious is nothing but collective karma, Sanchita karma of the cosmos, Sheshnaga. Or what we call as universal chitta, universal subconscious mind. So what is there in universal subconscious mind? The universal powers, the powers of God, the powers of divine. That we call as deities. Various deities we worship. Oh, people think that why we are worshipping deities? So we think that deities are coming somewhere. They are coming from deep within us. Our subconscious connected to universal subconscious. Deities are the powers of universal subconscious. The feminine, masculine deities. And each of them have their own powers. Some of the spiritual sadhana you do in terms of upasana is to activate the power of the deity in you. When you do upasana of Rama, the power of Rama in the universal subconscious is manifested in your life as dharma. When you worship Shiva, the power of the universal subconscious as vairagya manifests in your life. So basically, our spiritual sadhana is to activate the universal powers in our life. That's what deity is all about. So deity worship has two parts, mantra and form. A word, mantra is some syllables, and a form. So the mantra and form are used for, mantra is used for our right brain and form is used for our left brain to activate deep-rooted universal consciousness powers. Understand? Powers of universal consciousness. Your powers of individual consciousness like telepathy, sharper brain, sharper memory is individual consciousness. That individual subconscious also has powers. Telepathy, remembering your past lives, maybe reading somebody's mind, they are individual. And universal subconscious powers are much more deeper. Universal unconscious is nothing but collective karma of all living beings, sanchita karma. So when we chant a mantra and worship a form, we are invoking the deity in our life. The deity is coming from deep subconscious of the universal subconscious. Because everything is conscious only. Sarvam khalu Brahma, everything, whole universe is conscious only. So now, many people confuse the deity with their mind projection. Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa saw the divine mother talking to him. It is very real to her. She is very real to him. Right? You can communicate with the God, deity. But the deity is coming from your higher mind. Deity is not coming from outside. Deity is coming from your higher mind. Lower mind is subconscious impressions. Higher mind is subconscious of the universe. Universal subconscious. Higher mind is nothing but universal subconscious, where deities are there. So that deity manifests when you touch the universal subconscious. Your higher mind speaks in the form of deity. Your higher mind speaks in the form of guide. So now, this deity is also, the deities are also cultural, part of the cultural what I call collective consciousness. So for example, a person worshipping a deity in India may see Divine Mother. A person worshipping a deity in some other country will see his angels or whatever that, right? So deep in universal subconscious, universal subconscious mind, what we call as higher mind, has forces of nature in the form of deities, divine forces, and forces of nature called asuras, destructive forces, disturbing forces. So when these disturbing forces manifest in the society, they'll manifest asurik pravrti. Lot of disturbance will happen in society, riots and fears. They're all nothing but inner demons. Demons from the higher part of our mind. The universal consciousness, what is there, they'll appear. Collectively operating to such people will do they'll do huge devastation, wars. Similarly, deities also manifest from the inner consciousness. Then more peace will be there, more harmony will be there in society. That's called devatas. So the devatas and asuras are nothing but subconscious of the universe. For us, we call this higher mind. Are you clear? So when people see when they pray, they feel as if God is talking to them. Now the question is now where higher mind is speaking or lower mind is speaking. Your lower mind also can project, because lower mind also communicates through images. Your subconscious mind also communicates through images of deity. Ramakrishna Paramahamsa was speaking to Kali, Mother Kali, versus for you, Divine Mother appearing. Is there a difference? Difference is whether it's coming from higher mind or lower mind. Higher mind is activation of the higher consciousness or universal subconscious. Deities are the powers of the universal consciousness. So, I met a person who says, I'm seeing God everywhere. This particular deity of me comes and talks to me. Anytime I can see. Then what the deity is telling you? Oh, it tells me what dress I have to wear, which bus I have to catch, where I have to go, what I have to speak. This the deity tell you anything about spirituality, enlightenment, karma yoga? No. It's our lower mind is projecting. Right? Whereas Ramakrishna Paramahamsa Mother, when the Divine Mother comes, it's higher mind, higher truth. So the higher truth, the higher mind speaking, or God's mind speaking to you, has three dimensions. Inspiration. It has intuition about higher truths. And vision. The lower mind speaking is an illusion, delusion, fear. The higher mind is inspiration, energy. Everything is happening in the mind, and your nervous system is the play of the divine and demons, individual consciousness, higher consciousness. Everything operates in this whole system. When you touch the superconscious, your intuition opens up. Deeper truths open up. Inspiration comes in your life. Energy comes in your life. That's called Shakti. Creativity comes in your life. When lower mind works, you are mechanically living programs. Vasanas and samskaras, you are mechanical. You're like more like a machine. When you touch a higher mind, synchronicity opens up. Grace opens up. When you touch lower mind, or lower mind is operating, it will be mundane things, routine things. Any questions? Did I cover everything? So, the entire universe, when you say conscious, the consciousness is subject and object. In reality, there's no duality. Absolute reality, all this what I said applies in the manifest reality, phenomenal world. Deities, devatas, gods, higher consciousness, super consciousness, all those things, phenomenal world. But in reality, the absolute reality is Newman, unborn. There is no duality. All these questions will not come. If you touch that absolute reality, you are liberated. If you are in the domain of manifest reality, phenomena, all these things which I am speaking of is explaining what's happening in the world. So what is manifest reality is called Saguna Brahma. What is unmanifest reality or unborn is called Nirguna Brahma or Parabrahma. There's no duality. That's transcendence, mukti. All this what I'm speaking of is in the domain of manifest reality. So there's nothing called reality. Reality is a belief system, individual belief system, collective belief system, or cosmic belief system. Cosmic belief system is called Maya. Any questions? Anybody has a question on Zoom?
About the waves, which Delta, Theta waves you have mentioned about. Can you please mark it to that higher conscious, collective unconscious, which refers to as what higher consciousness? What wave would that be?
So the question, I'll take it there as a separate question. Okay. So what is your question? Any other question? Anybody else question on Zoom? Shravan?
No, Prabhuji.
Yes, Shravan? Are you speaking?
No question, Prabhuji. Hari Om.
Hari Om.
Guruji, I have a question. Guruji.
Who is asking?
Ashwini Guruji.
Yes, Ashwini, yes.
So, as an individual, you said there'll be powers like intuition and better memory. Those kind of powers will come. But as
Right.
a collective, what kind of powers?
As a collective, see, as a collective, when I say speak of collective, it's the society, right? It's a collective, living beings and all living beings in the collective consciousness. So as collective, we are actually actuating science, technology, going to space, going to the moon, right? Internet, all these things is collective powers are getting actuated. Collective consciousness is getting activated in terms of internet, mobile phone, wireless, rocket, all those things is collective consciousness is developing it now.
Yes,
right? So collective consciousness can bring out the divine qualities, deities in us. Then more harmony will prevail in society. It can bring out demonic qualities, asuri pravritti. The asuri pravritti will prevail in the society. So these are not coming from collective individual consciousness. Collective is conscious. It's a cosmic consciousness. From cosmic consciousness, deities and asuras can get activated.
got it, Guruji.
So when you do a deity worship, what you are trying to do is actually activate a higher part of your mind. That's a part of the God's mind, cosmic consciousness. We are invoking in the form of deity. When a guru gives a mantra or diksha, actually he is trying to activate the deity within. Deity is not without. Deity is coming out of your consciousness. Out of your higher mind. Higher mind is God's mind. So, in the universal subconscious or universal consciousness, the deities are the forms which are there. And deeper level, their yantras and mantras are there. So, these yantras and mantras are a way to activate the deity in your life. Everything is in consciousness only. Whole universe is in consciousness only. See, entire universe, what you see is appearing in your mind. Mind is brain. The outer reality, inner reality, both are appearing in your mind, brain. And brain is activated by consciousness. Everything is happening in consciousness only. Okay. So, any questions, Gayatri?
No, Guruji.
So we'll go to next question then.